I have a cool little lesson for you today. It's 2 conversion hacks. I kind of hate the term hacks, but it actually gets more response when I call it a hack, because somehow that seems easier. So let's call it a hack. Let's not call this a deep lesson, or I'll disguise the deep lesson in a hack. But it's 2 conversion hacks that you must master to be a great copywriter. I fully stand behind that. You must master these to be a great copywriter. What are they? Well, let's dive in. So the first things first, I want to talk about conversion. Let's break down this conversion event, because you might think of conversion as like, it's just when they put the money in, right? It's when they put the money in. It's when they enter their credit card details in your order form and they place their order. That's a conversion, right? Yes and no, like that's the measurable thing. But conversion is a much more powerful word than like entered credit card details in an online order form. It's about a mind change. It's about a change of the perspective. So they convert their perspective. They gain this new perspective. They convert their understanding. They convert the framing. They reframe the understanding of whatever it is that you are talking about, right? So, and there are definitely some religious undertones to this. If you speak of a religious conversion event, that's often one of the most important events in someone's life, right? And I don't want to go too deep into that, but when you think about conversion and you think about marketing, it's not just, when they put their money in to your system that generates sales, right? It is about this change in perspective, this change in understanding, this reframing of their understanding. So, for example, if there is, well, we'll get into this, but if their fundamental belief is, I have this problem and I can't solve it, right? I have this problem and I can't solve it. I want this thing and I can't get it. And you're able to convert their mind, you're able to change their perspective, their understanding, their framing of this to, I have this problem and I can solve it with the right resources. I want this thing and I can get it with the right help. That is the kind of conversion that I'm talking about that leads to them putting their money in your little money machine, right? In your cash register. That's the conversion that happens first, is that internal belief conversion, right? And so the 2 critical conversion hacks that we're going to talk about today that you must master to be a great copywriter is the reframing of the problem in the prospect's mind, to put a new frame around their understanding of the problem, and to reframe the solution, to put a new frame around their understanding of the solution. So there is no good solution. There is a good solution. That's reframing the solution. I can't solve this problem. I can solve this problem. That's reframing the problem. Now we're going to get more specific than that, but this is fundamentally like, if I have a problem and I don't feel like I can solve it, I don't feel like there's a good solution out there, and then suddenly my mind changes, I undergo this conversion experience that there is a problem. I understand why I still have that problem and that it is solvable now. And I understand what the solution needs to be. Well, suddenly, I feel like I want that solution, right? And if you can accomplish those 2 things, much of the other things that you do as a copywriter are not very important. That's one of the reasons I love the book Method Marketing by Denny Hatch, and I didn't really mean to talk about that in this episode, but one of the things that he does there in that book, like the premise of that book, is that you can be a skilled professional copywriter or a rank amateur. And if you can get into the mind of your prospect, of your audience, and you can speak to them on this level of belief change, right? Usually coming from a place of either Well, when it's a rank amateur, usually it's this authentic place of like change, right? In your mind. And those rank amateurs can have these huge successes because they get in the mind of their prospect, and it is often like dictated by their personal conversion experience that they're sharing with their audience. So let's talk about the reframing of the problem. I've taught this before as the NUPP Secret, the new understanding of the persistent problem. This is giving your prospect a new understanding of a problem that has plagued them, that has been persistent, that they have not been able to solve. When you give them a new understanding of what that problem is and why it is such a challenge to them, why it continues to be a problem, why they haven't been able to solve it yet, you open the gates for a solution. What you convey when you help them understand the problem in a way that nobody else has helped them understand the problem so far, what you convey is that I understand your problem better than you. And that's okay. Like, we go to doctors, we go to experts because they understand our problems better than us, right? So we convey to our prospects, I understand your problem better than you. Therefore, I will have a better solution because I understand the problem, I understand what is required of a solution. And this reframes when you tell them what's up with their problem and why they haven't been able to solve it. This reframes the problem into something that is suddenly solvable. And by the way, I say problem all the time. And frankly, most people buy to solve a problem, not because they want an outcome or something to be better, but a problem can also be an unfulfilled desire. So I want this thing, right? So a new understanding of why you don't have the thing yet. The new understanding of why you're not a great copywriter yet is that you don't understand these two conversion hacks, right? Therefore, you are watching this video. And because you believe that I understand this better than you, I'm going to have a better solution for you, which is what I'm laying out in this video, right? So problem is not necessarily a problem. It can be an unfulfilled desire. It's still the same thing. So conversion hack number 2, reframing the solution. You do that by providing them new buying criteria, and that's going to be based on the new understanding of the persistent problem. You are going to define what the ideal solution is. So if the reason you have not been able to solve this problem yet is, reason X, our solution, any good solution, actually, we start with any good solution, needs to address X, or else it's going to be a failure. It's going to be the missing link. It's going to be the missing puzzle piece. It's going to be like the solution is going to be a failure unless it addresses X, which is that thing that nobody's talking about, but I understand and I can share with you, right? So it's based on NUPP. This is only possible, like the solution only becomes possible if you understand the problem at the level that we understand it. And therefore, that dictates what the buying criteria needs to be for any adequate solution, whether it's a product, service, whatever, to solving that problem. And you often can do this in a way where you are setting up the buying criteria before you ever introduce your offer. And so the solution needs to be this, and this. And oh, by the way, we created our offer to match those ideal solution criteria or buying criteria, right? And so this should end up matching your offer. So you redefine the problem. You gave them a new understanding of the persistent problem. You said a solution has to contain these different elements. And then you laid them out and you said, this is how those different elements match our offer. Now, here's a little secret weapon that I have given you many, many, many times over if you're a longtime follower of me. My PISA formula. I want to talk to you about how this reframes the problem and reframes the solution, how this does exactly what I'm talking about. So if we use this as a general outline of copy, right? If we use this as a general outline of copy, what we do first is we introduce the problem. I had this problem, this person had this problem, whatever. There's this statement of the problem. This conveys that I'm talking about the same problem that you're thinking about, right? The same problem you're trying to solve, that's what I'm talking about here. agitate gets talking about whoever was experiencing the problem having the emotional agitation around having the problem go unsolved, the desire to have the problem solved, that gets the prospect emotionally involved in the sales message, right? So there's this problem that we know, is out there. Here is why it needs to be solved, right? And then in Validate, we walk through this process of, I tried all of these different solutions and they didn't work. So hopefully you recognize what I'm setting up here. I tried all of these different solutions, but they didn't work. We're establishing that the previous understanding of the problem was inferior, was invalid, right? The understanding of the problem that other solutions was built on was invalid. And so we need to find the missing link, the missing key, a new understanding of the persistent problem in order to create the solution, right? And so what is that new understanding? Well, we discovered something and it led to the solution. We discovered whatever it was, whatever the missing link was in the problem, and it led to the solution. So we realized the solution needed to do this one thing on top of all of these other buying criteria or solution criteria that would be the adequate solution to the problem, right? So we're doing this with the PISA formula. And then we took the action, we got the result, right? And then we are able to tie our offer to this. And if you want to take this action, if you want to get the result, if you want to solve the problem, just buy our stuff, right? And so the PISA formula can be your secret weapon to creating more conversions by reframing the problem and reframing the solution. So my call to action to you today, number one, think about how you can use this going forward. What problem are you solving for your prospects? What's unique about your solution? What's unique about your understanding of the problem that you're solving? How can you lay all of that out in the context of a sales message, perhaps using the PISA formula as a guide? How can you use this as you work to write better, more effective, higher converting copy? And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get more content like this delivered to you. And hey, if you have not done so yet, and there are a lot of people who have, you need to claim your spot on my Black Friday 2022 waitlist. So the Monday of Thanksgiving week, I'm not remembering the day off the top of my head. I think it's November 21st, 2022. At 8 a.m. US Central Time, I will be announcing my Black Friday sale. Specifically, I'll be announcing my early bird sale to my Black Friday 2022 waitlist. There are 25 people who are going to get the best price, and everybody on the waitlist is going to have a 2-hour head start on everybody else. So you are going to want to be on the waitlist if you want to become a better copywriter through the training that I will be offering on my Black Friday deal. That's how you're going to get the best possible price. I'm Roy Furr, this Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Hey, whether you ever buy from me or not, make sure you're liking these episodes, subscribing, and getting more content like this because I do want to help you become a great copywriter, a great marketer, and a great entrepreneur. And with that, I'll say thank you, and I will catch you again in the next episode. I'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.